My name is Helen. Martin and I had lived together for 22 years in the small town of Brockton, Iowa. On the surface, life looked ordinary. Saturday groceries, an old pickup truck, evening TV shows without endings. One day, while cleaning the trunk, I found a blue backpack. Inside a towel, a toothbrush, a small bottle of shampoo with the Cypress Inn logo, and a photo Martin standing by green doors, smiling beside a woman in a white shirt. On the back, "Thanks, Jay," and last Thursday's date. I stood on the driveway for a long time listening to distant trucks merging with the pounding of my heart. Then I put the backpack back, as if returning the problem to the box. I barely slept that night. In the morning, I pretended to be tired from gardening. Martin had his coffee, kissed my cheek, and said he was going to Brockton for a client meeting. He worked as a garage and flooring repairman. He always had clients. When he left, I photographed the receipt. Cypress Inn, room 18 cash. On the back, volunteer discount. Volunteers? Martin hadn't volunteered anywhere, or so I thought. I drove to the Cypress Inn. The motel stood by the highway at the edge of town, the sign "Vacancy" glowing faintly even in daylight. At the reception sat a man in a palm print shirt. "I'm looking for a friend. She might have stayed here Thursday," I said, sliding him the photo. He glanced. "Oh, that's Miss J. She doesn't stay overnight. She rents a room for a few hours, sometimes for group meetings." "What kind of group?" "Anonymous support group, volunteers. She says people are ashamed to go to the office, and here it's quiet." "And this man? Him?" The man squinted. "He brings her folders. And coffee. Kind, you see. Pays cash so no one gets exposed." Kind is an easy word when you don't know the details. I sat in my car and texted Martin, "Where are you?" Brockton Bridge, railing estimate, came almost immediately. Brockton Bridge, the old iron arch at the edge of town where graduates and newlyweds love to take pictures in the evening. I drove there. Our pickup was parked. Martin was talking to a man in an orange vest, the city engineer. When our eyes met, I felt ice tighten in my chest. "What are you doing here?" he asked. "Saw your pickup." I lied halfway. He nodded. "Want coffee afterward? There's a diner near the station." "Sure," I said, while another me clenched fists inside. At the Brockton Station diner, the air smelled of caramelized bacon and cleaning soap. A waitress with a badge reading "June" brought coffee. I laid the photo from Cypress Inn on the table. Martin went pale, as if someone had erased his color with alcohol. "It's not what you think," he said. Classic line. "Then what?" "She's Jill. She runs a volunteer missing person group. I help carry folders and listen to people." And the towel and toothbrush in the backpack? "Because after those stories you want to clean up before going home," he said quietly, almost ashamed. "I didn't want you to find out the truth," I interrupted. He looked at me like asking permission to keep living. "A year ago, a girl went missing from the school where I once installed the floor," he said. "Lana Pierce. She had a blue backpack, the same kind. I found it at the fairground near the bridge. Brought it to Jill. Since then, I can't stop. I remembered the blue backpack in our trunk." "Is this Lana's backpack?" I asked. "No." He shook his head. "That one's with the police. This one's from a thrift store. When we post photos at the meetings," he swallowed, "it's like holding someone's hand while they're between shores. I wanted to understand what it's like not to let go. I know it sounds strange." "It sounds like you chose a different kitchen for our pain," I said. Martin lowered his eyes. "Yes." "I also want to know what happened to Lana," I said after a pause. "Tell me everything." We stayed at the diner until closing. According to Martin, Jill had gathered information about 3 points: the bridge, the station, and the fairground. Lana was last seen Friday after the school game. She walked along the tracks toward the bridge. Then silence. Cameras on the bridge were down for repairs. At the station, the old system, grainy images. On the fairground, an old car festival, drowned voices in the speaker system, all pieces that didn't form a mosaic. "And what do you have?" I asked. "Green paint residue on the eastern stair railing," as said Martin, "and a footprint from Kite Run 3 sneakers Lana's shoes. And 2 anonymous letters sent to the group's number. Search at the fairground. Seen. No signature. Sent the night she disappeared. Who's SE? We thought it meant seen." He shrugged. "Or station." I felt my mind switch into kneading bread mode, everything measured in grams and minutes, and you hear the dough breathing. The next day, I went to the fairground scene. The rain drizzled lightly. In puddles, advertising flags trembled. Under the stage, a vacant space, wooden beams, some trash. On the inner side of a beam, chalk read, L don't go. No one would notice, the chalk would wash away, but someone intentionally covered it with a piece of plywood. I lifted it with a knife and photographed it. Next, a cable trench. Inside, a scrap of fabric printed with small blue roses. Lana's dress had the same print. I called Martin. He arrived quickly, like at a fire. Police? He asked. First Jill, I said. She knows how to speak so people listen. Jill arrived with a laminated map of Brockton. She marked a triangle, Bridge Station Fairground, and drew lines where traffic was blocked at night. This triangle held sound, so she said. Shout at the fairground, it blends into white noise. At the station, the train swallows it. On the bridge workers. I put the L don't go photo and fabric scrap on the table. Jill nodded. We got a voice from under the stage. We checked the technical tunnel from the stage to the generator shed. Grates had been recently removed and replaced. Bolts showed fresh key marks. It took me 3 hours to get the station manager to release the recording from the night of disappearance. Jill, Martin, and I sat before the old monitor watching pixels dance. On one frame, a blur moved from the fairground toward the bridge. The blur disappears where the bridge fence was removed. We need light here, said Jill. Not a lamp memory. Who has memory on the bridge? Asked Martin. Those who repaired it, I replied. Foreman of the repair crew, Donnie, showed the work log. Under Eastern Section, signed S. Keene. We saw Keene with the engineer. He admitted, saw movement? Not sure. Confessed to sending the anonymous letters, feared being accused of inaction. Someone else will find it, he said. Someone else is us, and now the police, Jill replied. Search warrant. In the raincoat closet, a change key to the grate under the stage. In a drawer phone with restored texts. L, meet by the stage. S, don't go alone. Sender Silas. He didn't plan, but removed the fence and left no warnings. Your didn't plan could cost a life, said Detective Nace. The case went to court for creating hazardous conditions, obstructing investigation, and false statements. Lana became a name on the bridge plaque. Martin hung the blue backpack in the garage, not to hide, but to remember. Jill continues her meetings. Our home smells of markers and cheap coffee, the scent of people who never stop searching. Martin and I learned to grow tired together. It's small, and it's home.